Scientists have recently found that by examining satellite and high-altitude photographs, they are able to make new discoveries about early human settlements. From above, roads are seen that would never be noticed at ground level, and patterns of ancient farmlands and vegetation reveal themselves. Scholars in many countries are now using satellite photos in their explorations. One example is Mesa Verde, Colorado. Here, many years ago, there lived a people known to their descendants as the ANAZOZI, the Ancient Ones. For over 600 years, they lived in the mesa tops where they farmed and hunted. From a basket-making people living in dugout huts, they became accomplished builders and masons. Then, about 1200 AD, a strange thing happened. In a short period, they moved en masse down into well-defended positions in the cliffs. Why? Who did they fear? There is no evidence of invaders, and yet, we wonder. In the 100 years they lived in the cliffs, the ANAZOZI built some 700 dwellings. 3 generations made their homes in places like these. The ANAZOZI were in constant touch with their many gods. Only the smallest ruins are without at least one KEEBA, a subterranean ceremonial room where men would gather round the fire, chanting far into the night. Friendly spirits were welcome at the ceremonies. In the floor of the KEEBA was a symbolic open doorway to the spirit world below. For 100 years, the gods were kind. There were good harvests, and the little rooms were full of life. Then, in 1276 AD, began 24 years of drought, the greatest ever in the history of the American Southwest. Perhaps an overcrowded population had exhausted the soil of the mesa top farms. Perhaps bands of enemies came raiding. Perhaps all their water sources had run dry. We may never know for certain just when or why. But sometime during the drought, the Ancient Ones, hungry, embattled, abandoned by their gods, walked away from their homes forever. For 600 years, no one entered the ruins. The Ute and Navajo Indians avoided the melancholy cities, believing that the spirits of the ANAZOZI still lived there. Then, in 1906, this land was declared a national park. And now, how curious it is that as a benefit of space exploration, modern man is able to locate trails and farmlands from centuries ago, hopefully to provide more clues and expand our knowledge of the ANAZOZI and other ancient peoples.